coming. Happy New Year. I know, it's very exciting. My name is Petersen. I'm super excited to be here with you guys tonight. Anyone who's been in our meetings before knows that I'm all about making sure this information is for you. If you have questions along the way, and that's great. Just to give you a little bit of background on myself, I actually have been in the field for about 3 years now. I had never done direct sales before. In fact, my background is in the stock market. I was a financial advisor, and I was in the market for about 13 years, and I loved it. It's actually how I met my husband, Brett. And about 5 years ago, when we started having kids, I got itching for something different. I knew I was a better mom if I had something that was my own. But I also knew I wanted to be there for all of those first. And I really didn't want anyone telling me that I would or would not work. So I started my process of looking for something. Well, there's not a whole lot of dream jobs out there that meet those criteria. So, can you guys hear me okay back there? So, interestingly enough, my mom, who's in Billings, Montana, introduced me to organic fields. And I am the first to say that I was so naive to this industry that I immediately said no before I said yes. And she said, that's okay, but go ahead. And she encouraged me to go to this meeting we were having in Brooklyn at the time. We were in pre-launch in Chicago. It was brand new. There was less people there than there are in this room tonight. And I kind of fell in love that night, I have to tell you. I got to meet our president, Lori Bush. And you know, I really went to the meeting because I knew Lori used to run Neutrogena. And I thought, gosh, I can run this smart, savvy businesswoman, that'd be great. But she really did such an amazing job of telling us the story behind her and the doctors. So when she was running Neutrogena in the early 90s, she said these two beautiful doctors from Stanford came to her with an acne product called Proactive. And while Neutrogena could see that it worked, they just did not think the average consumer took the Silvex to Clearasil. And they also didn't think most people would use a multi-step approach to acne care. So they passed on the opportunity and said, you two are beautiful, you should be on TV. So that is actually how Proactive got their start in the infomercial. They got a big fat no from Neutrogena. Lori told us that night it was the biggest professional mistake that she ever made, and if she ever had the chance to work with the doctors again, she would. So that's why she's running our company, Organic Fields for Doctors. I sat there, still very naive to this industry, but I knew something. This was exactly like what I did in the stock market. I found companies or stocks or funds that were really cheap, were really early in the maturity process, and I recommended them to my clients so they could make a lot of money. And I thought, if I can be one of the first in Chicago, and one of the first in the nation, I can take this at my own pace around my kids' schedules. What do I have to lose? So I did. I started my business 3 years ago in November, and I can tell you wholeheartedly, it was completely changed our life. I looked at that in 3 different ways. The first is the perks are really awesome, which is great because I came from corporate America. We weren't even getting raises anymore. We doubled the workload. It's just a totally different atmosphere. All expense paid trips to Napa. Fortunately, my husband and I get to a valley this summer. We're in a beautiful white Lexus this spring, which my kids absolutely love. It's really nice. But those are our perks. They're not really life-changing, they're just fun. The two significant things, however, is that we have a 6-year income from home that goes up every single year. And I'm sure that with all sincerity. And that's from having a product that really works. It's got medicine to change your skin. And 2, we have a very compelling business model for savvy professionals looking for different ways to be able to work. And month over month, that continues to grow. And the best part of this business is genuinely wanting to help other people, teaching people to do the very same thing. So on teams, and there are so many amazing teams in this room. One particular team is called Team Get. And we are passionate about making a difference in meaningful this culture and doing something better together. And those things have all uber connected all the time. The way we connect to each other is just so much different than it used to be. So giving a recommendation and being able to tell them what you're excited about takes place in a second. We know that Facebook is a foreign country to be the third biggest country in the world. That's how connected we are. So it makes this kind of business that's based on recommendations that much easier because the platform is so easy for us. So the first thing we'll talk about tonight really is the products. I just got to tell you, we have something coming in 4 weeks that we're going to touch on in a couple minutes. We are going to own this industry with our anti-age platform. We are that excited about anti-age. To give you a little perspective, the doctors own the acne market with co-acne. It owns about 93% of a $1 billion market. We're going to talk a little bit later about the anti-aging market is nearly $3 billion. So of course, we are uber excited about really just putting our footstep really on that anti-aging market. And the way we do that is offering enough medicine to actually change your skin in combination with cosmeceuticals, so you will actually see the transformation in your skin. That's why we have such loyal customers and we get so much press as well. This is big business. Everyone cares about how we look. $2.9 billion a year, and we expect it to go to $5 billion in the next 3 years. So think about how big of that market, piece of that market would you like to be a part of. Anti-aging is not just for people in our 30s or 40s or 50s or above. 86%, 84% of people in their 20s care about aging. We're all aging all the time. So it's really great when we can connect with people at all different levels and everyone really cares about the anti-aging market. Another thing that I love is, and I tell this to my customers all the time, we are a results-driven company. Okay, we're not going to give you samples because we're not about textures or fragrances. While those things are important to us, that's not ultimately what's the most important to us. The most important thing is that your skin changes. Because that's really our premise, we offer a 60-day empty bottle guarantee. So you use up those products, you follow the system, in 60 days, if you don't see the results we're telling you you're going to get, you get a full refund. It's a 60-day sample. So you can tell people the only thing they have to lose is a wrinkle or a blemish or whatever it is that they're trying to fix. One of the things that I love is everything we do goes through a clinical study. I was a financial person. I didn't even know what a peptide was when I got started in this business. I had no clue. I didn't know how to say hydroquinone. But I trusted that our doctors knew what they were doing, and they would never bring a product to market that hadn't gone through rigorous testing. And that's one of the things I love. Our anti-aging regimen was the first time ever that not one participant dropped out of the study, and 100% of the water.
She's going to find me a drink.
A
drink? A water or a drink? Wine.
But while the stats are great, and it's hard to remember the numbers, you'll always remember how somebody's skin has changed, right? Nothing shows that as well as a picture. Luckily, we get to be our own billboard for that if you're a consultant company. But as you can see, the top picture is the brown circles under Donna's eyes, the width and depth of her wrinkles, definitely at the bottom with Cynthia as well. You can see the tightness and the lifting of her skin. The size of her pores have decreased significantly. And that's kind of one of the reasons why Dr. Fields has said it's kind of like space for your face, right? We're just going to put all those big things back where they need to be. I love our anti-age regimen, but I have to say, we have a complete clinical skincare line that is fantastic. One of our previous flagship products
Did you want? What did you want? Pinot Noir.
For your face. So we all have sun damage, we have age spots. I suggest everyone always does their first. Or in that process, someone who sees such a
Excuse me. Can I get a glass of Pinot Noir, please?
What kind?
White Pinot Noir. Yeah. A white Pinot Noir. Thank you.
Alright, so I love the product, but I have to tell you, when I signed up, I never had the products, I didn't see the products. All I cared about was the presence of these doctors. I wanted to partner with the most well-known, famous dermatologists in the entire world. Okay? Not only did they graduate from Stanford, not only do they still teach today, they still practice today. They are wild. Everyone knows them as being when God bless this industry, that there's not always some best companies are like, you know what, if we're going to go into direct sales, we're going to make it better, we're going to change it, we're going to redefine direct sales, we're going to do it the right way. So they're always one step ahead in everything they do, and that was why I made my decision to partner with them. Additionally, very fortunately for us, we've only been in the direct selling industry for 4 years. However, not only do we have this brand new proactive, we have more than that. Organic Fields as a company was actually in high-end department stores from 2002 to 2007. The interesting thing about that is, when we went into high-end department stores, Estee Lauder came to us and said, we have a
Here's a Pinot, just the glass. Is there a specific one you wanted?
We don't have enough medicine to change anyone's skin. We partner with us.
I think you want Cabernet.
Thanks, Jeffrey. Appreciate it.
Partner with Estee Lauder, Bendel's, Macy's, Bloomingdale's, all the high-end department stores. We were the #1 clinical brand in Western National in 2006 and 2007. But something funny happened. How many of us have been in department stores? I do frequent Nordstrom.com. I do not go to department stores. If nobody's going, there's no way their products are going to get seen by anybody. So they were absolutely trapped in the glass case of the department stores. What they recognized was that people who were using the products would tell their girlfriends. So we were a very social kind of company. So the first time ever, an established retail brand was purchased back and then taken into the direct selling industry. Okay? Since we've done that, we have won 19 awards with the Direct Selling Association. We are named a rising star among a number of different things. I will tell you personally how good a decision this was. We were doing about $10 million annually in Nordstrom when we were there. My team alone was really happy with that. Talk about how many teams are already in sales. We are doing so much more volume in distribution of products by giving people the opportunity to share the business and the products with everyone. It was a very, very smart decision on that part of that course. We love press. Today we really love press with something that's coming, may or may not have been leaked. But press is our best friend in Petersen Fields. We get more press than every single direct selling company combined. That's not paid press. That means you, the editors, putting their names on the line about our brand and about our products as being the best out there. There's no better way to have instant validation of our company and our products than to be able to share with your friends, check it out, my new business is in the press again. Telling people, my business is in Vogue, or Lucky, Redbook, Today Show. What else would you do to show how cutting edge our products really are? We have vowed to revolutionize and redefine the anti-aging market. Our biggest product launch we've ever had is coming in just 4 weeks. The press will be everywhere. We're already witnessing that. So if there's a time to think about this business being a good fit for you, it definitely will. So we're obviously all here because we love being friends, right? We love to have cocktails. But ultimately, we want to make profit, right? We want to be profitable. One of the best things about this business is it's a virtual franchise for under $1,000. You're going to do the same thing every single time. You're going to get products that really work, and you're going to have a compensation plan that is designed to make your investment back in your first 30 to 60 days. So when you think about order here, brick and mortar, you absolutely know that they do not make their money back on this investment within 30 to 60 days. And then every single month after that is profit. That's such a beautiful model to be able to share with other people. So how does this business work?